Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ballet Radio. In pretty much all circles of media, there is always the age-old debate. Was the book better? Was the movie better? Was the TV show better? I see your debate and I humbly raise you. Perhaps the ballet was better. Today we are talking about one of our favorite ballet adaptations of pretty much any story ever.
Yeah.
And this is, of course, you know where we're going with this. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Specifically the portion of the ballet where Alice encounters the caterpillar.
Honestly, this is just a fantastic excuse to watch or rewatch this number, but the caterpillar number in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is genuinely one of the most hypnotizing pieces that I think we have ever seen on the ballet stage. And so if you're ready to watch it with us, then make sure you tap the like button, settle down with something nice to snack on or something to sip on, and let's get going.
This would not be a Ballet Rain video if we did not first get into the context.
Of course.
Because we want you guys to be able to fully appreciate the masterpiece that is the caterpillar. So obviously, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, this particular production is choreographed by Christopher Wheeldon, and it is a fantastic adaptation of the original Lewis Carroll book, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
It's genuinely incredible.
I think what makes this ballet so amazing is how faithfully translated all of the characters are to the vibe that they give in the book. But it's translated from a strictly language format into a strictly movement format. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's a completely different language, but somehow it still transfers over. Like the same essence is very, very, very true in both. So that's what makes this production so incredible. This is the Royal Ballet, of course. Christopher Wheeldon choreographed it and set this ballet on the Royal Ballet originally. And the caterpillar today is danced by Eric Underwood. He is
my goodness.
absolutely incredible. And Sarah Lamb, of course, is the beautiful dancer who is performing Alice.
We have mentioned the caterpillar in a Addictive Ballet Moments
Yes, we
episode
did.
quite a few months ago or years
Because-
ago. Is in fact addictive. And what's interesting about this is you'll see in a moment is not strictly classical ballet.
No.
But, you know, we have to branch out of our classical ballet bubble every once in a while. So
Exactly.
this is our excuse to do so. And the amazing music in this
Oh my
production
gosh.
is written by Joby Talbot, and it is incredible.
incredible.
He does an incredible job at voicing the characters and the vibe of every single scene, and it all comes together in a masterpiece.
It is a
guys.
masterpiece. Every single character has their own voice, but it's all cohesive. It's genuinely so good,
Genius
you guys.
work.
It's genius work. So without further shenanigans, let's get going.
Okay.
Alice's Adventureland.
3 million views on this thing. 3 million people were at, like, half those views are mine, I swear.
It's addictive, you guys. So here we go.
And already, just from the first couple bars, you can already tell exactly the vibe of the scene. It transfers from, like, the usual, like, almost, like, trippy, kind of, like, colorful scenes from earlier, and then you get to suddenly this, like, dark,
It's much
almost
darker.
mystical,
It is mystical.
dream-like kind of feel.
I love how you have that shimmering sound combined with the really, really heavy percussion.
Yeah.
It adds a really cool layering effect.
The girls are fantastic here. And the movement quality is so fluid. Here he comes. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And look at that. And the
So
brilliance is not lost on us. He literally does the worm
worm.
here, if you know what I mean. And because he's a caterpillar.
Because he's
the
a
worm.
caterpillar.
And again, like, the choreography is just brilliant.
It's funny.
It's a little nod to, like, yes, it's a worm.
It is indeed a worm.
He's fabulous.
He is. He has all the fluidity. It looks like he has no bones.
Like, even just that, oh my god. Contemporary is really fun because you can elongate those shapes and dramatize those shapes and kind of move through stuff as opposed to finding positions.
Yeah,
necessarily.
exactly. You get more freedom and you get more liberty with it, which is really, really fun.
He has a lot of the positions and a lot of steps that you would see in classical ballet. Like, he does a développé, he does an arabesque, but ultimately it's like contemporary choreography. So you can see his arabesque is more of a reach. And the développé, he's pulled back a little bit, as opposed to, like, right up on his axis, all prim and proper like you would in classical ballet.
Yeah, exactly. Right up on his axis there.
What I love about his specific movement quality, and this is unique to the dancer, every dancer is different, but what
Yes,
I
of
think
course.
makes him very special and very exceptional in this role is how much charge
Yeah.
every movement
Yeah.
has. Like, it's fluid, but it's not not a soft fluidity. Everything has this like tension and this almost resistance to it. And by resistance, we mean like it never feels like it just goes. It feels like there's a
You're pushing against something.
And if
Yeah.
you watch specifically this whole passage here, you see, it feels like he's resisting against the air itself.
Yeah, exactly. What I really like about the quarter ballet dancers is that they add so much, but without being distracting. And I think that's like something that's like really important in terms of staging a ballet in general. When you have a focal point, you want the focal point to shine, but you also want to frame it just enough so that it is supported enough without being overwhelmed, you know? And so I think that it's done really, really well here.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the balance, I think. And I think using only 4 dancers rather than like
whole bunch.
whole bunch of dancers
Yeah.
like you might see in like Le Bayadere. You know, it frames this particular piece really, really well.
Yeah, and also putting them in veils and flowy
Yeah,
really
the veils
flowy fabric. I have a thing for veils. I love veils. Okay,
Veils are fantastic. Veils, capes, literally anything.
any
ribbons.
copious amount
Yeah.
of fabric.
It's gonna hit every single time.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It just really frames his movement.
it does. It frames him really well, and it doesn't detract from what he's doing.
He does that so well. Just melts through the demi point into the plie, and
That's the classical training. I love it. I love seeing classical dancers do contemporary. This is just like, I mean, a subjective opinion. I just think that there's a level of like polish and finesse that they carry from the classical work into the contemporary.
Yeah.
It's really, really exquisite.
You know, in ballet, it is very rigid, but you
In a
do
way.
practice a lot of these kind of movement qualities
Yes, you
that
do.
you can really play with when you get into contemporary choreography. Like this whole thing that he does here with the body, it's the épaule.
Yeah, it's
We
the
practice
épaule.
that a lot in ballet.
Yes, you do.
That sort of moving through the demi point,
Yeah,
like
melting into the
almost
feet.
like cat-like sort
Yeah,
of
exactly.
softness into the plie. It's very classical training, but
Yeah.
you can use it in every other context, which
Right,
is
right.
kind of why they encourage a lot of different kinds of dancers, like that do different styles, to
Yes.
train in ballet. Because you might not use ballet technique, but you use sort of the principles and
You
like
use the principles,
certain movement
yeah.
qualities.
Exactly. The recall from previous passages.
The way he looks at her again, because he's very mysterious and she is supposed to be completely like not hypnotized, but almost like
Yeah, no, she's
whoa, what is this?
she's entranced for sure.
Yeah. The first time I watched this, I freaked out because this is such a cool passage.
It is pretty cool.
Again, the worm going backwards,
Yeah, exactly.
and he just disappears. And boom! He's there. What the heck?
Genuinely, like, okay, from like a visual perspective, that's already so cool. But when you know how hard that is, like as a dance from like a dancer's perspective,
Yeah.
it makes it that much cooler.
Yeah, watching this back in replay in slow motion. Look
Yeah.
at the girls in the front here. They're on point balancing in a second position in plie.
Yeah, holding onto each other.
Holding on to each other. That's already
That's already a struggle.
it's not an easy position to balance in.
not exactly.
And they have to balance on command until he gets through, right? And then they have to slowly drag up to that susu
Yeah.
while being sure they're not gonna hit him.
hit him. He has to be quick with it because they need to move on their count, and he needs to be back
And
all the
standing
way,
up.
standing up like nothing happened by his count. And so it's genuinely, it's a coordinated effort. It's a musicality thing. It's a timing thing. It's a trust thing, really.
Yeah, a technique and
Yeah.
balance and strength thing.
Yeah, they really do. And again, there's so few dancers on the stage right now. There's really nothing else to distract or like kind of cover up if anything does happen. You know, it's everyone's focus is right here on and like there's 4 dancers, yes, but to the audience there really is only one because
Yeah.
they're just stacked like that. And so you have all all the focus on you. And so yeah, it's a moment.
The whole illusion thing, and again, this is why we love drapey fabrics, because it just flows. Boom.
Incredible.
It's the magic, it's the illusion.
He's so fluid.
And I love that she's kind of going back and forth like this, he's
being
controlling her in a
pulled
way.
Yeah, no, she really.
Which I mean, same, Alice, same.
Yeah, honestly, we all feel that way. We all kind of feel that way, Alice.
Controlled turn there, beautiful.
His spine literally doesn't stop
I
moving.
know.
It's so fluid.
Moves
I
like
love
water.
this moment.
I love that particular step because
know,
it
me
looks like
too.
she's underwater or like on space, in space, like on the moon.
I know, it really does. She has this genuinely has so much wonder in her face. And I think that's what really sells this entire scene.
The zero gravity effect. The fact that even their hands don't meet right away.
Exactly.
That she's like reaching for him and then she gets him.
He barely gets her fingertip. He literally is just controlling the energetic field around her. It's really so trippy. It's really
immersive.
eerie, but it's really immersive and cool.
And of course, the piece of the mushroom that in the book he does actually give her. He gives her one from each side. And one makes her grow and one makes her shrink.
That's
so. Good repeat of the motif from earlier.
Yes.
I think this is in the book. It's been a while since I've read it, but doesn't he make her recite things?
Maybe he does.
But like
it's been
I
a
know,
long time.
but basically they do have a conversation.
Yes, there
and
is a
so I love
conversation.
seeing that sort of call and response.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It takes her a while to find the courage to kind of go up and try to talk to him.
Yeah,
and then when
exactly.
they do actually have a back and forth, which is
exactly what we
represented
saw here.
Even when they move fast, they keep that fluidity. Again, the worm motif.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's our favorite part.
This is the best part. This is the most iconic part of this number.
And here he comes
Here
in
he
all
goes.
his glory.
You guys.
With blue sparkly point shoes.
Wow.
As you should. Isn't that incredible, you guys?
Is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen?
That is the coolest thing. Can you
What
imagine?
the heck? It's so...
Like, as if we didn't get enough of a picture that he was the caterpillar before.
Yeah.
Like, as if the incredible, resistive, fluid movements were not enough. As
Yeah.
if the mystery and the mystique and the aura was not enough. We have to put him in a complete caterpillar, complete with how many legs?
There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eight
With
other
eight
dancers. 8 pairs of legs. You know the dragon dance?
Yeah, it's
or
just
like the
it's
lion
just like,
dance?
it's like that.
It's like that, but a
Yeah.
caterpillar.
Yeah, exactly. It's so cool. And I love the little umbrella that we saw earlier. It kind of looks like that mushroom
The
that he was
mushroom
sitting
cap.
on
Yeah.
at the beginning. It kind of brings everything back into the picture, and it's the coolest thing. And everything else just fades into black, and it's just boom, caterpillar.
Yep.
Oh.
Random anecdote.
Yeah, please.
But can you imagine being the dancers? And they're like, oh, what are you cast as? Oh, I'm the legs. I'm the caterpillar. Oh, really? Yes, the caterpillar. But isn't he the? Yeah, I'm leg number 6.
I'm like 6 and 7.
Leg 6 and 7. I would do a lot just to be leg 6 and 7. That is so cool.
So cool.
And we've seen this like a long time ago. We watched this for the first time a long time ago.
Yeah,
but
when
never,
it first came out.
But it never gets old.
It never gets old.
So cool. Yeah.
I mean, 3 million views. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is fantastic. You know what? I think subjectively, the ballet rendition of Alice is pretty spot on in terms of vibes. I mean, obviously it's a completely different medium, but I think just like if we're talking about just the essence of this particular scene from the book,
Translating
I really do think that the way that they did this in the ballet was pretty spot on.
Genius.
In terms of the interpretation.
And I think this is a really good proof of the storytelling power of ballet.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like you can take text, words on a page, and transform it into such an immersive experience.
Yeah.
That's like visual and like audio and sets and just energy as well. Seeing dancers on the stage transmitting that energy to you.
It's
you know,
so
in a
good.
way, like
It's
not
so
to be all
good.
like, oh whatever. But like
Yeah.
you know, you kind of that artistic portrayal as well. It's a
Yeah.
very palpable experience of
It really
the
is.
like of the story originally. So I don't know. I really love ballet as a storytelling medium, and hopefully
is.
now you are convinced that it is a very powerful art form when it comes to communicating characters like this.
Alright, you guys, so that was the Caterpillar from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Christopher Wheeldon and all the incredible dancers of the Royal Ballet. I believe there is a caterpillar emoji, so make sure you leave your caterpillar emojis to send all of your love for the dancers. Again, this is just a study on storytelling, I think, from a ballet perspective, because that's essentially what ballet was made to do. It was
Yeah.
meant to carry old stories and folklore and fairy tales and things like that onwards in a very specific, very unique sort of format. And it's not so much of like talking, obviously, like you might in a story or a novel, but it is the energy and it's the essence and it's the emotional aspects of the story that really stay intact. And you see that in the movement, the music, and all together is just phenomenal.
If you would like to see more Alice's Adventures in Wonderland
Yes.
commentaries, we actually have done 2 more.
We have.
We did a commentary on the Mad Hatter, Mad Tapper scene.
Yes, oh
which
my
is
goodness.
absolutely fantastic, and we know that if you
Incredible.
loved this, you will love that just as much.
We also did the
Tart Adage.
Yeah, the tart adage, and it was affectionately called, which is hysterical, and you're definitely gonna love that. So make sure you go check out those 2. They'll be linked above and below.
This is the 3rd Alice commentary we've done.
I guess it is, but it honestly is such a fantastic ballet. And if you would like to see commentaries on other numbers within the ballet, feel free to let us know.
Do let us
and
know.
we will definitely consider it.
And if you liked the video, make sure to like the video.
Yes, subscribe
and
to the channel to see more.
Yes, because we would like to have you here again. We had fun today.
Yeah,
Hopefully
we did.
You did too.
And if you want to help keep these videos coming to you every single Saturday, you can join all of these incredible people that you're seeing on the screen right now. They're our patrons. We love them to death. You can do so by clicking the link in the description box or going to patreon.com/balletrain and becoming a patron over there by following the very, very simple steps. Speaking of our patrons, though, we do have a very, very special thank you and shout out to our patron, Jim. Thank you so much, Jim, for your generous support. We really appreciate it. Like, genuinely, people like you keep our world turning, and we really don't know what we'd be doing without you. So,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
Sending you all of the good Ballet Nerd vibes
Yes.
from us and the Ballet Rain team
Yes,
as a
thank
whole.
you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Anyways, I think that is all from us for now. This is Ballet Rain signing off. Until the next video.
Bye.
In other news, this is such a small note, but I put us in dark blue
Oh, God.
because of the scene here, and I
Wow.
put you in your cardigan that's scalloped on the edges because the mushroom has scallops on it. It's so dumb, but
Eden picked her outfit today, and she was like, "You have to wear this cardigan," and I was like, "Weird, but okay."
No,
I mean,
but,
it's cute.
but look, the scallops are the
You're right. It does look like our cardigan.
like what? Yes, it does. I was like, what should I give her? Shoot, she doesn't have dark blue, and I was like, oh, she has light blue. I guess we can give her light blue. She has.
We are timely.
I told you I'd get you out by 2.
You did.
It's 2:07. Okay.
I might even have time to get a snack. What?
Whoa.
Get extra tea? What?
Whoa.
That would be awesome.
Everyone,
Okay.
get snacks.
Get your snacks.
Everyone, feel your body.
Exactly.
Everyone, drink your water. Hydration is important to cognitive function, overall mood,
Yes.
basic health functions.
Being alive.
Option. No, I'm joking. It's It's a bonus.
It's a bonus. Saying live is a bonus.
Saying alive is a bonus.
Obviously, obviously. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much. Let's
Love
close
you
out.
guys. All right. Woo.